What's going on, guys? It's Nando. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to the Geek Nation. Let me know in the comment section below if you are a returning viewer, hashtag Geek Nation, and if you are new, welcome. Please consider subscribing if this is the kind of stuff that you like watching, tech-related stuff. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to be reviewing the GoPro Max and the Insta360 One R. There are tons of videos out there right now talking about footage from one, footage from the other, comparing them side by side. You guys can watch tons of those videos. I may or may not make a video like that. What I do want to focus on is creating a quick and concise video that's going to focus on the differences between one and the other, what you can expect shooting with one or the other, letting you decide ultimately whether you want to go with one or the other. Because right off the bat, they're both great 360 cameras. They both bring a lot to the table. They're both priced very competitively and very similarly to each other. So really it comes down to preference, features, functionality. What are you looking to do with your camera, specifically your Action 360 camera? So let's focus first on some key differences between the Max and the Insta360 One R. So right here we've got the Max, as you guys can see. And then right here we've got the Insta360 One R. Now, real quick off the bat, you're going to notice one big difference. The Insta360 One R that I'm currently holding in my hand right now has its frame already on it. So you need this mount to go ahead and mount it to accessories. Of course, you could take it off of this mount, but then you lose this shoe down here. You lose the ability to hook this up to like a tripod or to some mounting head thing or whatever the case may be. So why do I bring that to your attention? Well, GoPro with its most recent line of cameras has built in the mount to the camera. So as you can see down here, you can actually flip this open and you have the ability to go ahead and just start placing this on mounts that you have or may want to buy, which is really cool because that's one less thing you need to carry, one less mount. For example, with the GoPro Hero 7 or things of that nature, you needed to put it in the mounting system, into that bracket, and then you go ahead and mount it. Now you don't need to, and when you're done, this just closes away. Some people are a little scared that maybe this breaks off, and then what do? I'm sure you can buy a replacement, but hardware-wise, that's a really cool thing that GoPro has set us up with for this new GoPro Max. Now, when you look at the Insta360 One R, what you're gonna see here in a second when I open this up, and I'm trying to protect the lenses. One thing you guys wanna make sure you do when it comes to 360 cameras is you wanna protect these lenses at all costs because they are very fragile. So obviously, if you know anything about the Insta360 One R, you know that it's all about modularity. So that is by far its number one feature, and you can actually go ahead and disconnect the base from the rest of the camera, and then you've got yourself a setup here that can get quite interesting. Twin edition, you actually get a 360 module and a 4K module. So you can turn this bad boy right here for basically the same price as a GoPro Max into a action camera that shoots 4K and obviously other forms of footage, 1080, 2.7K, etc. But you can also have this shoot in 360. And you can interchange them as you want. And I'll leave you with that because here in a second, there's one thing that I'm going to talk about that some people will like, some people will not like. With the GoPro Max, you don't have the ability to change modules, but you do have the ability to actually go into the settings. And I'm going to turn it on right here to show you. And what you can do is you can actually turn your camera into what they call hero mode. And hero mode allows you to shoot more standard footage that maybe you don't want to shoot in 360 all the time. Maybe you're doing something more action camera focused or whatever. Maybe you're just vlogging. Maybe you don't want that massive 360 file. You can actually go down here in this little button, bottom left-hand corner, tap that, and what it's going to do is it's going to change. I don't know if you guys can really see that too well, but it's going to change modes. And what it's going to do is, see, right now when it's in a globe, it's in 360 video, 5.6K. You tap it again, it goes into where it says video. You tap that and then you can choose right here. You can actually go 1440 hero mode, 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, or 1080p. 1440p, honestly, in my opinion, is more than enough for everyday things, for what you're going to be doing, for what you're going to be recording. I love shooting in 1440. The files aren't as big. The image is better than 1080. However, some people are going to say, well, it doesn't shoot in 4K. And yes, the Insta360 One R gives you that 4K module, which of course you can then shoot in 2.7K, etc. If you are someone who is dead set on needing 4K footage all the time, then obviously the hero mode in the GoPro Max isn't for you. It's not a software feature that you can expect to come out and be updated and suddenly you have that ability. No, you're not going to get that with the GoPro Max. You are going to get the ability though to change your module and get the 4K on your Insta360 One R. It's such a long name, so I apologize if I butcher that all the time. So that's another big differentiator. You've got modularity and the ability to change on the fly, and you don't have modularity, but you have software that allows you to do hero mode. Believe me, guys, I've gone back and forth between which one I prefer, and I'm going to tell you right now that I'm leaning with the GoPro Max for that simple fact that software changing to 1440 is so quick and so seamless that you don't have to stop what you're doing, reach into your pocket, reach into your backpack, take out a module. Be careful that you don't drop your 360 module. Put the 360 module away carefully. Put on the 4K module. Turn the camera back on and start shooting. Of course, depending on what you're doing, you may have all the time in the world to do that, but if you are out and about and recording something and you want that quick change in function, you're not going to get that with the One R. You're bound to drop it, you're bound to scratch it, you're bound to lose it. Modularity is good and all, but modularity has its issues because it's removable. They are moving pieces, and that is something that you're going to have to deal with if you are looking into the One R. For me, that is the number one deciding factor between GoPro Max and One R. And I've gone back and forth, believe me, tons of times between which one I prefer, and I keep going with the Max. So right now, we've got Max with its ability to change on the fly via software. We got the Insta360 One R with its ability to change via modules. What else do we have that's a big differentiator? They're both going to give you 360 footage, obviously we know that, and they're both going to have corresponding apps or desktop versions. Most people these days are using the app, whether that's on iOS or Android. I've noticed that the app tends to be better and more stable on iOS. That tends to be a reoccurring theme when it comes to situations or cameras and softwares that go with those cameras. And what I mean by that, you're able to shoot your footage, download the app, upload the footage from the camera to the app, and then do your editing on your phone or tablet, and then go from there, save it to your device, upload it to the cloud, post it to social media. What's cool about that? Both can do it. One offers you so much customability and so many features and functions, it's almost overwhelming, but I have to give them the nod for doing it, and that's Insta360 One R. Its smart track features, its ability to track a subject during or in post, its ability to shoot in quick, cool modes, like grab your footage and then choose a theme and then start uploading that footage into that theme to make really cool time lapses or motion lapses or bullet times and all these cool things. That's what makes the Insta360 One R, in my opinion. If you are looking for function and features and cool things to do, I think you go with the Insta360 One R because of the software. It can be overwhelming. It is something that I've struggled with, but once you get a little bit of a hang of it, you enjoy it so much that you can just start recording and then in post, just choose a theme if you want to go with the theme route and then upload that footage and it's just going to work. It also stitches and it does it quicker. You can edit your footage directly from the phone without having to upload the footage from the camera to the phone, which you do have to do with the GoPro 360, or I keep calling it the 360, I'm sorry, the GoPro Max. You have to download the footage or upload the footage from the camera to the phone and then start the editing process. The Editing on the Max or GoPro's app is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it limits the functionality, it limits the cool things that you can do with your 360 footage, and Insta360 One R expands on that, really allows you to enjoy, or use your creativity. Now, again, I'm not going to show you guys side-by-side comparisons of footage. Personally, my opinion thus far, I think they're both the same. Maybe giving the nod to Insta360 One R in terms of sharpness, giving the nod to GoPro in terms of color. If you like that saturation, that GoPro color, that's all GoPro. But so far, what we have is a big difference in software and a big difference in form factor, modularity versus software. I love that the GoPro is one small, confined piece of tech. It's just easy to carry. It comes with these little camera lenses things right here already in the system, and you can just take this, flip these bad boys right here, and then suddenly hook it up and you're on your way. I love that. At the same time, this form factor is small. It's also very nice. However, you got to be careful how you're using it, how you're switching it. I fear that if I take this into the water, because of the base, because of the modularity, because things move around, that it's bound to get messed up at some point. I hope that's just me being paranoid, but that tends to be the case when you look into module systems. So there you have it, guys. Really two major differences. I've enjoyed both really, really equally. Let me know in the comment section below if you have one or the other, or if you're using an older version, maybe the GoPro Fusion, maybe the Insta360 One X, or some other 360 camera, or maybe some other kind of action camera. Both of these action cameras are trying to do 360 and also be an action camera. And I think they both do it, and I think they both do it well. You just have to ask yourself if you care more about being able to make changes and switch on the fly. That's going to be GoPro, simpler, less of a hassle. Or do you care more about the final product, the being able to show footage, cooler style footage in different ways, and deal with the editing that goes with it? Then you've got the software that Insta360 One R provides. Again, let me know in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hit that subscribe button, guys, please, and hit that like button as well if you liked the video or found it useful. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. It was Nando. Peace, salute, and adios. And don't forget to stay geeky, guys, like always.